Good morning, folks, out here on a hike. Happy Monday. Taking advantage of this terribly underutilized trail that I have by my house. I've been getting a little loose in the cage, so I need to start getting a little bit more active. A little too much golf going on and not much else. I hit the gym occasionally, but a few pull-ups and push-ups aren't going to do it. And I recognize it's mostly my eating, but I'm Mexican. Los tortillas, los frijoles. Man, it's tough. It's tough. I need to start limiting that for a little bit. I go up and down. I'm human. I don't take most of what I do very serious. Even golf, I think some of you might think that's cap, as the kids would say, but I play it, I love it, but I don't get into the technicalities of the equipment. There's so much I probably should have learned about golf by now that I haven't, that I'm discovering little by little. But check this out. Look how beautiful it is out here. Very nice. Excuse my heavy breathing. I'm old and out of shape. It happens. Anyhow, I'm wishing everybody a happy Monday. You're probably saying, easy for you to say you're out there or out here in the office working or in the field working. And probably wondering, how does he do it? Does he even work? Does he have a job? I had a job for a very long time. And to be honest, and I'm grateful for it, I was able to raise my children on the job and doing what I did. I was in sales most of my life, but really don't consider myself a true salesperson. I wish I was a better one. I like communicating, obviously, but I don't know. There was a lot of anxiety. I realize now that I didn't enjoy it. I liked the travel, I liked the destinations. Once I was there, it was cool. Going out to dinners and entertaining people and things like that, but the process was terrible. I hated going through airports, driving to airports, hitting traffic, hoping you get there in time, hoping you don't have to use the restroom in the middle of your journey to the airport, stuck in traffic and wondering if it hits you, am I going to be able to find a place to use the restroom? Oh, so many things. And just said it was a lot of anxiety that I realize now, but at the time I was just reacting and doing what I had to do. And I probably sound like a snowflake complaining about this stuff, but I know for a fact that most of the people that did what I did hated it just as much as I did. Check this out. There's a little rock platform here that I think would be pretty cool if you were into yoga. You set up a little blanket or a mat right here. Start doing your little yoga routine. I don't do yoga, but I've heard about grounding. And I feel like this spot would be pretty cool to do some grounding. I'm not sure exactly the benefits of it. I'm one of those skeptics, right? If it's not totally obvious to me, I'll do it and I'll think, well, hopefully it does something for me. But sometimes I walk away going like, I don't know. Anyone else feel that way? Anyways, just a quick tour of this trail here. I hope I don't twist an ankle or anything like that, but it's, I don't know, it's probably about getting close to 7 a.m. I would say, 6 something. And I'm out here. I've been wanting to come out here for a little while. I've just been too lazy. I get hung up on social media, doing the doom scrolling. I'm I'm guilty of that. My wife, I think, probably wants to have an intervention on me because I do spend too much time looking at that stuff. So aside from that, you guys know I do run a little golf club called Ámonos al Golf, and it's growing slowly but surely. Most folks that have played it enjoy it. It's not a social club. It's a club for folks that want to take their golf game a little bit more serious. I hear a lot on social media like, oh, it's not that serious, don't take it so serious. And that's true. I think anyone can take their approach to golf however they like. But this club is for those individuals that want to take their golf game serious, that want to have a legitimate handicap. If you're playing scrambles all the time, how do you know what your handicap is? Plus, you know, everything, the cliches about scramble tournaments is that the most shameless cheaters win those tournaments, or the sandbaggers or the low handicappers have the big advantage. If they create a team amongst themselves, you have no chance against those kind of individuals. And so what it turns out to be is you're kind of just donating to their fund. Of course, you're also paying for the social aspect of it, the fun, the camaraderie, and all that stuff. And I think in that case, it makes total sense. So if that's your thing, that's great. But that's not us. We do monthly, what is referred to as medal play or stroke play tournaments. So it's you against the field, you against the course. And the outcome will be a true representation of your handicap. Also, you have individuals sometimes that, for some odd reason, maybe seem to post their best scores, and they have lower handicaps than perhaps they should, because I've seen it happen. They'll come out and play and they'll shoot. And, you know, golf is golf. Sometimes you're going to go out there and have bad days. There's no doubt about that. In fact, I heard or read somewhere that once you have an established handicap, it doesn't mean that you're going to shoot that score or that amount over or net par, let's say, every time. In fact, you're going to shoot net par probably 1 out of 7 rounds or something like that, 1 out of 9. I forget what the statistic was for that. So if you're a 10 handicap and you're expecting to shoot 10 over every time you play, you're sadly mistaken. You're going to be disappointed, because that won't be the case. It's not supposed to be. It's not designed to be that way. And if you shoot under your handicap, then that's a great sign. That means you're elevating your game. Your game is getting better. You're tightening it up. So your handicap will then go lower. And once again, that new handicap, you won't be shooting those scores every time you go out and play. So just a little tip on that. Just set proper expectations. And anyhow, back to the club. I run a net skins game. So we apply the handicap to your scores for every hole, so that everybody has a fair chance, so that not just the single digit handicappers end up walking away with all the skins money. We also separate the group into flights, flight A, B, and C. And someone asked me, what is typically a B flight handicap? And well, for us, it's not a set number, because it depends on who signs up and what their handicaps are. So let's say I have 20 players sign up. what I try to do is divide those 20 players into 3 groups according to their handicap, and I'll set a cutoff for flight A and flight B so that we have an equal distribution of players for each flight. And the skins are by flight, so you're competing against people at your level, or relatively, you know, give or take a few strokes. And then we also have low net awards by flight, low gross awards by flight, and of course the tournament champion is the person with the best net score. So that's their gross score minus their handicap. Whoever has the lowest score for that wins the tournament. We also have closest to the pin for every par 3. So you have 4 chances to win there. We have a longest drive by flight, and the closest to the pin are by flight as well. So if you're in a flight, you have a fair chance to win something. Now, the only downside to having so many awards is that the distribution of money becomes less, but I have found that for most of the members, they don't mind that. They like the idea of walking away with something. And it's not necessarily kind of a socialist kind of thing where everybody gets something. You get enough people registering. Some people, unfortunately, do walk away with nothing. But everybody has a fair chance, that I can say. And then we do most greens in regulation by flight, and the fewest putts is overall. So whoever has the least putts in the entire tournament wins something as well. So our next tournament is this coming Saturday, August 23rd. It's going to be at Glen Ivy, a beautiful course. If you follow me, you know that I've been doing a hole by hole video, play by play, to give you an idea of the layout of the course, and in some cases I give some tips on how to best play that particular hole, or at least you can see how not to play it maybe in some cases. So anyhow, I hope that's helpful. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you following and viewing and liking the content. I'm kind of semi-retired, so I don't know, eventually I'll end up getting a job, but for now I'm gonna keep working this golf club thing and creating content, and who knows, we never know where life leads us, so we'll see what happens. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.